Wicked channel, right?
No, live. Hey, Shalom, brethren. Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah.
Hey, Shalom, Hakim. Yahweh Shem Barakatah.
Right. This is Elder Tazadakba. And here I got with me Elder Tazion and the brother, up and coming brother Dawadai.
Shalom.
And Saturday, when we were speaking Saturday, we made mention of how Esau would run Jake out of towns and flood the town and create lakes or create a park or something like that and remove Jake out of there. So what we're gonna do right now is we're basically gonna go into that. The place I'd like to start is if you got a scripture you want to open with Elder Tazion. If not, I'm gonna start here with this. Basically back in I think it was 1912. I'm gonna start here with that, and then we're gonna go into towns that were flooded, but showing you the wickedness of Esau. You know, that's why this show is called the ugly history that America has buried, right? So what did they bury, and what does Black history not talk about? See, you Black people here in America right now, especially in this day and time, it's 2022. You keep talking about trying to build generational wealth. Let me tell you niggas something. Right after slavery, Jakes all throughout America.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you.
Go right ahead.
When a brother says Jakes, he's talking about Negroes.
Right, and you Negroes. When I say Jakes, I mean Negroes.
Or it could be Negro, Latino, Native Americans. But right here, we're talking about you Negroes.
Yep, you Negroes.
You come out of Jacob.
That's right, because you come out of Jacob. When we say Jakes, we mean...
Sometimes when they hear it say Jake, niggas think we're talking about cops.
No, we ain't talking about the cops. You know what I'm saying? Understand that when we
gotta clarify.
This is Israelite lingo. When we talking Jake, we're talking about you the sons of Jacob. But we say Jakes for short, right? So that's Israelite slang. We ain't talking about no fucking cops running from Jake. Nah. We talking about you Jakes, you meaning you Israelites, you sons of Jacob.
You Negroes.
You Negroes, Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Yeah. You Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Dominicans, Cubans, Jakes, right? After slavery, you Israelites or you Negroes already had it in your mind about building things, and if you want to call it generational wealth, that was already in your mind after slavery, because during slavery, who were the craftsmen during slavery? You Negroes. Them fucking Edomites they wasn't building shit, and they wasn't doing nothing. When something had to get fixed on the plantation, when they were going to build a shack or they were going to refurbish the house or add an addition to the house, who the ones that built it? The slaves that was on the plantation. Who was the ones that were that shoed the horses, that made the horseshoes and shoed the horses?
Wait a minute, who built the White House?
Who built the White House?
Washington D.C. What labor did they use?
Black people.
At the time they didn't use Mexicans. Now they use Mexicans.
Right.
But you Mexicans are Jakes too, man. You Israelites too, by the way. But back in them days, they didn't use Mexicans. They used the Negroes, Judah.
Right. So whether you were a bricklaying mason, right? A carpenter, right? A bricklaying mason or a carpenter, or you were how would you say? Let's say a welder or a blacksmith, especially being a blacksmith, because the blacksmith, when something broke on one of the stagecoaches, right? The axle broke. Where did they get the raw materials?
The leaf springs.
The leaf springs. Who do you think were the ones that were forming all that, forging it in the forge and all that? You Jakes. So you Jakes were artisans. You had skills with working with your hands, fixing machines and building machinery. You turn of the Industrial Revolution. That was you Jakes. So after slavery, you had all these skills. So you went and built your own towns and your own areas, because the white man wasn't going to deal with you. So you went in and set up your own places in your own towns and built things up yourselves. And you understood, you want to talk about the power of the black dollar. All of that money was being circulated in your community. It wasn't going outside your community.
Right, because Esau wasn't dealing with you.
Right.
Before they put Jim Crow on the books, there was always segregation.
That's right.
Esau knew that. They didn't want no nigger in my area.
That's right.
You niggas going down, going down there, go get.
Go get.
All right.
Right.
You niggas could live around Whitey, just like today. You know, you get a few sprinkles of niggas living around Whitey, and even they catch hell because Whitey be giving them trouble.
Yep.
Calling cops on them.
Yeah.
You might live in a so-called white area. You working on your car, and they gonna call the city on you talking about you doing an illegal garage.
Right.
Right. You're making an illegal garage
you leave the hood
in the neighborhood. Right.
You leave the hood dealing with these grimy ass niggas. Call yourself going to a nicer area and then cracking them motherfuckers over there give you hell. Showing you that them curses, man.
Yep, that's the curses. You can't escape it. And the whole thing about building a financial base and trying to build a generational wealth, Negroes was already on that. You're talking right after the Civil War. Negroes was on that, right? Negroes was on that. So now, without further ado, I want to talk about there was a place that's little known to you black people here in America, and the place is called in California, what you call Manhattan Beach in California. Back in 1912, a black family named the Bruce family purchased basically the entire Manhattan Beach was owned by a black family known as the Bruce family out in California back in 1912. In 1924, the city of California seized the land and took the land from them. Now, today, that land is worth in upwards of $75 million. It's beachfront property. This black family created a resort on the beach that only black people could come to because blacks weren't allowed to go to the white beaches. So this black family purchased Manhattan Beach, right? And they built it up, made it a resort and everything, made it nice and pristine. And then the city of California basically seized it, from matter of fact.
Or the state of California.
So I'm going to read this real quick. This is from ABC News.
Yeah, because all over, matter of fact, this is all over the news a couple of months ago.
Yep.
Their descendants, I guess they so-called gave them some money now after all these years and shit.
Or they're looking to. Matter of fact, I'm going to play this little video. You'll be able to hear it on the chat. It's only like 2 minutes long, so I'm going to just play it here on my tablet. And
after you play it, I got a scripture for you.
Come on. So I'm just making sure that the volume is up on this. All right, so here we go. Play.
Yeah, this was all over the news.
Yep.
Why are you doing? I can bring this one up. Or
here it goes. It's playing.
Pays as low as $0.
Let me just let this ad go through, and then I can't stand it. Hey, technical difficulties. You know, I'm trying to play this thing, but an ad is popping up. So let me let the ad go through, like 13 seconds, and then you should be able to hear it. All right. All right. So it's just about, here we go. It should be playing right now.
Efforts to right a wrong from nearly a century ago. Officials in Los Angeles County are taking steps to return scenic Manhattan Beach property that was seized from a black family. And ABC's Zoreen Shah is right there this morning. Zoreen, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dan. A family bought this land about 100 years ago for under $2,000. They were one of Manhattan Beach's first black landowners until that land was taken away. Well, this is a massive space. We are right by the beach. By some estimates, it's worth about $75 million. Now the county is trying to right this wrong. This morning, LA County taking the first steps towards correcting a centuries-old injustice.
We will change the state law to allow the family to get their land back from LA County.
Right, LA County.
In 1912, Willa and Charles Bruce bought the first of 2 Ocean View lots for $1,225. Experts say it could now be worth up to $75 million.
This was an injustice inflicted not just upon Willa and Charles Bruce, but generations of their descendants who almost certainly would have been millionaires.
County Supervisor Janice Hahn, an LA County native, saying she hadn't heard of the Bruces until Black Lives Matter activists protested at Bruce's Beach last summer. The Bruces, among the city's first black landowners, they created a beach resort for their community who were barred from local beaches due to segregation.
Bruce's Beach became a lively, and flourishing resort.
Anthony Bruce is one of the last living descendants of Willa and Charles Bruce.
I did hear about this growing up.
For years, Willa, Charles, and their guests were targets of relentless racist attacks and harassment from white neighbors and the KKK.
That's why we moved away, but we didn't move away willingly. And that land was stolen from us because we would be millionaires today. If there's generational wealth that can be transferred or inherited, then there should be also generational debt that should be incurred and taken care of too.
In 1929, the city took the Bruce's property by eminent domain, citing the urgent need for a public park. But for decades, it sat empty. Today, LA County's lifeguard training headquarters sits on the Bruce's property.
I want people to take away from this that there is justice and that you have to pursue it. And your family can find peace for some of the wrongs that were committed against them in the past.
And there's still a lot of bumps on the road. One relative reportedly upset because the city has not formally apologized. Another anonymous group opposes the transfer, saying it's only happening because Manhattan Beach is falsely being accused of being a racist city.
Which
Dan?
That's the so-called white man right there with that.
Thank you.
So that's pretty much it on that right there.
Yeah, I got something. I got a scripture here, real quick, just for the They said they bought it for what, almost $2,000 in 1912.
2 plots they bought, which is the entire of Manhattan Beach.
Right. So back then, $2,000 in 1912. Today will be $57,484.95. So Jake's had money.
Yeah,
we had niggas that had money back then.
And this is after slavery.
But you gotta remember, we under them fucking curses. We're the Israelites, and this shows you we're the Israelites, man. Now read the scripture you holding, brother.
This is Habakkuk chapter 1 verse 6. It says, "For lo, I raise up the Chaldeans, that bitter and hasty nation, which shall march through the breadth of the land to possess the dwelling places that are not theirs."
That's right. And that's right. And the modern Chaldeans is you Edomites, right? Because that's talking about ancient Babylon, how they came into Israel. But you Esau, you're in power now, and you're the wicked, and you take away what Jake has. I got a scripture here to go into that. It's like, come on, man. Satan gets in your phones and shit. All right, here we go. This is Deuteronomy 28, because these are all the curses. Because the brothers say you got Jakes today talking about they're gonna get that. We gotta make that money, like the Jewish people and like Chinese. Look at the Chinese, how they come here, how they do. Look at all these. Look at the East Indians, the Arabs, how they come over here and do this. You under something called curses, man.
Yeah.
All right, and you're looking for something that's not there. This is Deuteronomy 28, and I'm gonna start at 29. Deuteronomy 28 and 29. It says, "And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness." And that's you niggas. Y'all groping, man. Y'all don't know where you going or where you coming from. You don't know nothing, man. And then another thing too. This is so-called Black History Month. Talking about you Negroes. This is so-called Black History Month, and all they showing you is black women, right? All the so-called heroes are black women. You notice that, right? Yeah. You know. In other words, they're trying to cancel the so-called black men out totally, man.
Yeah.
You know. But anyway, it says, "Thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways."
Right. The scripture said, "Thou shalt not prosper in thy ways." So no matter how hard you try, you're not going to prosper. Now you're going to have a few Jakes that's going to slip through the crack, and how would you say, be able to make a little something.
But their end is a roadblock. Look at your entertainers.
Yep.
Look at your entertainers. How many entertainers you watch? You go on the internet. Whatever happened to this guy? Whatever happened to Steve Urkel? Whatever happened to this guy?
Yeah.
You know, you go higher. That's just in the entertainment world. That also goes into your so-called your regular businesses and all of that. Always hit a roadblock. Yeah. You fly high, then you sink low. You have big house, and the next thing you know, you're renting. You know, that's true. That's the curses. It says, "Thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind." Matter of fact, look at that word "grope." As the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled. Who are the oppressed ones? Whenever they say the oppressed ones here in America, who's the first people come to your mind? Negroes.
Yeah. That's right.
Right behind them, the Latinos. Right behind them, the Native Americans.
That's right.
All right.
All
right. Go ahead.
There's from Oxford Languages. It says, "Grope definition: to feel about or search blindly."
You're searching blindly for generational wealth.
Mm-hmm.
You're searching blindly. Read that from the top again.
The
This is the definition of the word grope.
Of grope, it says feel.
To feel. You're feeling around. You're trying to find your way. But here it is. The prophets of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai are out there showing you the way.
Right.
But you don't go to that light. You want to find a light. You want to find that dismal, that false light of the so-called white man.
It's not there.
Of Babylon the Great.
Hey, shout out to Menatazak. I see you up there.
Shalom, brother.
Menati he put up a scripture, Job 20:10. After that, grab that real quick.
It says, "Feel about or search blindly or uncertainly with the hands."
Right, that's what you're doing. So you're feeling about blindly and searching about with your hands. Right, you ain't trying to bump into the wall or bump your face up against a piece of steel or something. You're walking around blindly. And you're,
and the Lord said you do that at noonday.
Yep.
So noonday, that's when the light, that's when it's really bright. That's like the brightest part of the day. And in the brightness of the day, you still can't find your way. You're groping, because normally you grope it when it's dark. Right. And you know, sometimes you wake up late at night and you want to go to the bathroom, and you wake up, you kind of lightheaded, waking up and shit, you crash into the damn wall. Or you might stub your toe on the fucking chair or some shit, trying to make your way to the fucking bathroom. You know what I mean? Because that's groping, but it's dark though.
Right.
The Lord said, Israel, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're gonna be groping at noonday. When it's the most brightest, you still can't find your way.
And the sun is at its peak,
and you still can't find your way. Matter of fact, this word that we teach it is the light, and you can't find that light.
Yeah,
Lord blinded you, man.
You can't find the light.
He said Job 10.
No, I gotta finish this first. Okay. You just read the definition. Because it says thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in. There it is. As the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save you. No man gonna save you, even to this day. Nobody feels bad about you. You got heathens. When I say heathen, these other nations that are not our brothers, like the Arabs and the East Indians, etc., etc. They come over here and they talk shit about Jake.
Oh, that's right.
How is it you're in this country and you live like that?
Cut.
How do you live like that?
Yep. Cut. They do say that shit.
Why are you in that predicament? I come here, I can't even speak English properly. And I do better than you.
Good.
Showing you we are the Israelites, man.
That's right.
Don't let nobody else tell you nothing different.
But what that fucking Arab or that foreigner
or that heathen
won't fucking tell you is that by them coming here to America, that the so-called white man gives them special loans to set up businesses where, and they set them businesses right up in the ghetto. Because in the Edomite neighborhood, that shit in the Chinese place that they sell, you ain't gonna be able to sell that in Fairfield. You ain't gonna be able to do that in Fairfield. You ain't gonna be able to do that in Westport like that.
Oh, that motherfucker in Pizza Valley. This is a local joint around here called Pizza Valley. Me and his brothers do deliveries for them back in the days.
Elam. They're Elam.
They're Elam. They're Pakistani Elamites. These motherfuckers, he told me himself, because over here in this town, this is the ghetto we live at. They're popular. They make money. Them dudes make millions, man.
Money.
But he told me he originally opened up the store in a white neighborhood up north of here.
Yep.
And Crackers wasn't fucking with him because they were like, "Yo, this ain't no real pizza. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Yeah.
You know, because if you ain't Greek or Italian, they ain't gonna fuck with
you. They ain't gonna mess.
Or you could be a regular white guy, a regular Scandinavian, talking about you selling some fucking pizza, which is horrible, but he'll make money in the white neighborhoods. You know, so they go right where to go off what the brother just said.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
what he had to do is he had to close down shop in the white neighborhood
and come down to the hood.
And when he came into the hood, he blew up in the hood.
Yeah, because everybody else was getting shut down because of the robberies.
Yep.
See, they come from a country where they get shot up all the time, so they didn't care.
Yep.
So it says, Deuteronomy 28:30, thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. And you can't tell me that's not your nigga woman, and a Latino woman, and a Native American woman. They all fuck whitey. They want the other guys. You know, that's a curse.
Yeah, with these other nations. When you see Hassan or Islam in the store, right? And they're like, yeah, brother, you know, I got 3 wives, but I got 15 girlfriends.
Yeah.
Them 15 girlfriends
Oh, they told me personally.
is black
They told
and
me.
Hispanic chicks.
They
Them
told me.
hood bitches around the hood that they be fucking them Arabs that be selling the fried chicken and the potato wedges in their store, making them little sandwiches. They be up in there fucking them dudes, having babies with them. They be I've seen it all the time. They'll go in the store and they'll grab a bunch of items and then walk right out the store. No money, no EBT card go up on the thing. Muhammad, and they walk out the store. Because you know what? Later on, she gonna come back and pay for that later on. Her and her girls. Her and a couple girls are gonna come back, and the lights will be on in the store, but the door is locked. But you don't see nobody because they in the back banging Shaquisha and Tamika in the back.
And Marisol. Don't forget Marisol.
And Marisol. Okay, Marisol is licking balls. All right.
All right. So let me finish this up. It says, "Thou shalt build an house." Going into what we go into right now, talking about Jake's back in the days, how they had their own little towns. They built their own houses. It says, "Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein."
Right. So you're gonna build a house, but you ain't gonna dwell up in there. Hey, a lot of Jake, Judah, Ephraim, hell, Issachar, especially Issachar, you out in them white neighborhoods building their homes, building extensions to their homes, building another home on their property because their property is so big. Look, I want to build a guest home for my mother-in-law. I don't want her in the house, so we're gonna make an in-law suite over here for my mother-in-law. You build it, you out there building it.
Matter of fact, they call it the mother-in-law house. I think they call it.
Yeah, the in-law suite or the mother-in-law suite.
Yeah.
And you build it, but you ain't gonna dwell up in there.
Right, but that, which is true, because we're in slavery building up these shit. But also when you built your own shit.
Yeah.
We had our own, because right now Jake don't have their own town.
No,
you live in a ghetto that the so-called white man prepared for you. But at one time, y'all had your own towns that the brothers going into right now. And where are they now? They should do a war. Like all them towns, matter of fact, the brother got a whole 23 different cities. There's even more than that.
Yeah, it's more than that.
They should do a where are they now for those towns. Because of what? It goes back to the curses.
Yep, it's all the curses.
So it says, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard and shalt not gather the grapes thereof.
Right, you're gonna plant a vineyard, but then you're not gonna reap the benefits of those grapes.
You're not gonna reap the benefits.
Nope, you're not gonna reap the benefits.
Matter of fact, what little benefit you get is what Whitey gives you.
That's right.
And the brother mentioned EBT card, etc.
Yep.
So you got that, Joe.
Which one?
20 and 10.
Yeah, make sure you hold these, brother.
No, I already asked. This is Joel chapter 20, verse 10. It says, "His children shall seek to please the poor."
Right. His children shall seek to please the poor. So in the instance of the place in California that was on Manhattan Beach that was owned by the Bruce family, now almost 100 years later, what actually that was 1924 when California seized upon them and took the property from them, that beachfront property from them. Now it's 2022, so that's what, 98 years?
1912 to 1924, only 12 years it was there.
Right, they was only on the land 12 years, then it was seized from them by the state of California, took the land from them. You know what I'm saying? And then now all the descendants basically had to move because of what? They talked about in the thing how you had the Klan. See, the Klan wasn't just down south. The Klan came up north and went out in the Midwest.
All over the country, but
it was terrorizing.
But notice what they said on there, though. They mentioned the Klan because with an average Negro, the only racist on the planet Earth is the fucking Klan.
No, it ain't the Klan.
They said on that news article you just played, it said the Klan and whites in the area.
Right, white
all people in the crackers area. Hate you.
That's
you
right.
You can watch, matter of fact, remember Hezekiah News of Seven Brothers? They show you Jake buying houses in Philadelphia. This is in the 1960s. You go back to the 1920s, 1960s, right? 40 years after the fact, right?
Yep.
You had Jake buying houses in Philadelphia and parts of New York, like Long Island, and different parts of the country, buying houses in them so-called white areas, and them crackers came out there vehemently.
Yep.
Man, woman, kids, beasts. Screaming at you to get the fuck out of here, nigga. Right? Yeah. Get out of here, nigga. And they didn't care. See, nowadays, if the media's around, they're gonna keep their mouth because of PC.
Right.
Well, that's that's drying up because we're living in a time now where they're going back to their old ways.
Yep.
But back then they was screaming at you. You had the little kids. Yeah, they just coming here. I think the government is sending them over here. I think the government is sending them over here. They don't want you around. They ain't just the KKK.
Yeah.
Straight up. They know the KKK.
Straight up.
All them crackers are like that, man.
Straight up regular so-called white people. Hell, as a matter of fact, not too far from here, Trumbull, Connecticut, right? Because here you got Bridgeport, Connecticut, and what borders it is Fairfield, Stratford,
Trumbull to the north.
And Trumbull to the north. I got family, my family on my father's side, they had left the plantation in Virginia. My great-grandfather left the plantation in the 30s in Virginia and came up north and settled in Trumbull. And he bought land in Trumbull. And that land in Trumbull, my grandfather was born on that land. Brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, and all that. And my cousins, they still live in Trumbull in the house on the land right now. And they were telling me throughout the years, I got older cousins that grew up with my grandfather. My older cousins who grew up with him, they were like a little younger than him, but they grew up with him. They were telling me how the crackers used to come right there to the street, right there in the front of the house, and be like, "Niggers, get out of here! Niggers, get out of here!" They say groups of crackers.
Wait, time out.
They would come in front of the house and be yelling, "Niggers, get out of here! We're gonna burn your house down."
Let me ask you a question: were they wearing the KKK clothes?
No, they weren't wearing no KKK clothes. These were regular everyday fucking crackers. And then the reason why the city of Trumbull has a school system is because of the people on my father's side of the family actually built the fucking Trumbull school system because they didn't have a school there back in them times. And my father's people were the ones that fucking built the school system in Trumbull. And one of my cousins, one of my aunts, she died. She was telling me that there's a lot of land out there in Trumbull. She was saying where the library is at and a bunch of other places that is actually our people's land that these motherfuckers stole. And she's been telling me and my cousins about it because she actually wants us to go and reclaim that land and get that land.
Yeah, but you know.
So I'm just saying. So that's all over.
So we're doing a show right now, and it hits home.
It hits home, man.
It hits home. So this ain't just something that we made up, man. It hits home. So
back in the Job 20.
Yeah, read from the top again and come on in.
Verse 10, it says, "His children shall seek to please the poor."
That's these hunkies. They're trying to please the poor now.
Yep.
Matter of fact, that article you just played was white people that was on the news.
Yeah, it was ABC. This was on ABC News site.
That's so wrong. That's so wrong. Then fuck you.
Yeah.
You're still gonna pay.
You're still gonna pay. I don't give a fuck.
What's that? Isaiah 14:21. Get it for me, please. Get that scripture for me, please.
Yep. It's Isaiah chapter 14, verse 21. And it says, "Prepare slaughter for his children."
The Lord said, "Prepare slaughter for his children."
Right.
Whose children? Those white people of old.
That's right.
That's another thing too. A lot of you crackers, that was old. That was back in the days. Get over it. They love telling a nigga to get over it.
Yep, they love telling you.
But the so-called Jew, every minute on the news, anti-Semitism.
Well, wait a minute. They get over it. They went after Whoopi Goldberg. Get over it. Fucking get over it.
Well, Goldberg, she has so much fucking mouth, right? Whoopi Goldberg. She's a demon. She gets what she deserves because her head was up the so-called Jew's butt. And the Lord used him to turn on her ass. But all that big mouth that Whoopi Goldberg got, all that mouth that blob has, why she can't tell them to get over it?
Yeah, get over it.
You got so much balls. Right? Yeah, there's another thing too. They tell these women they got balls. Since when women got balls?
You got no fucking balls.
But they say that Whoopi Goldberg is ballsy. So if she's so ballsy, why she can't tell the so-called Jew to go F themselves?
She got fired.
It ain't happening. Oh, they finally fired her?
Hey, you know what? They finally let her go.
Hey, but you know what? That show is gonna tank.
Yep.
Because that show's garbage. Ain't nobody watch that shit. Who the fuck want to watch a show with a bunch of women, bunch of cackling goddamn hens, hen pecking and?
Hey, well, you know what?
I'd rather go to my step grandfather's yard. He raises chickens. I'd rather watch those hens pecking on the ground.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch them.
Hey, well, she was the flavor of the show. That show is gonna tank now.
Yeah, well, just like America's gonna tank.
Yep.
Right.
Tank everything. Go ahead, bro.
Isaiah 14:21, prepared slaughter for his children.
So the Lord said, prepare whose children? You so-called white man's children. George Washington's children.
Hey, Shalom, my not. I see you up there.
Shalom, brethren. What's that other devil that came with the Federal Reserve era? That was Wilson, Woodrow Wilson. Yeah, his children.
Wilson. Yeah.
And all them crackers that was around in his time. All you crackers from the 1400s, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, today.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Read that again, bro.
Isaiah 14:21, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers.
That's right. Slaughter is being prepared for you in this day and time for what your forefathers have done.
Yeah, all the shit the brothers reading here about how y'all took Jake's. You had land that Negroes owned, right?
And cultivated.
Hell, the Native Americans.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we talking about Jake getting little plots after slavery. The Native Americans.
Yeah.
The Native Americans, man.
Mm.
Those are our brothers, right? The Negroes, the Latinos. Y'all remove that neighbor's landmark.
Yeah, you have something called the Indian Removal Act. When you signed the Indian Removal Act, that's when the Trail of Tears, when you had made people from Florida walk all the way out to fucking Oklahoma. It's called the Trail of Tears. The Indian Removal Act under who? Andrew Jackson, I believe.
Yep.
He was known as he was dubbed the Indian Killer. And after Andrew Jackson had defeated the Red Stick faction of the Creeks in the Battle of Horseshoe Bend, once he defeated the Red Stick faction of the Creeks, the Indian Removal Act, they removed the Seminoles from Florida and made them walk 2,000 miles all the way out to Oklahoma. It's called the Trail of Tears. Now, all the Seminoles did, because you have the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma, but all the Seminoles didn't leave Florida and go and take that trek out there. You had the ones that stayed and were dug in. And when you had that war with the United States and the Seminoles in Florida, and the United States got their fucking ass kicked. Go look it up. The United States back in, it was 18 something, I can't remember the date, but it was basically 18 whatever is actually the 19th century. They spent the money the United States military spent trying to defeat the Seminoles in Florida, it'll add up to today's money, $48 million that they spent. And it was the Seminoles fought them to a standstill, to where they was like, look, we're not going to come here and bother y'all no more. We're just going to leave y'all alone. So not all the Seminoles left and took that trek and went out to Oklahoma. The ones that stayed fought the so-called white men and fought your fucking ass to a standstill. And that was just one tribe. That was the Seminoles. Or Reuben, the tribe of Reuben. They fought you to a fucking standstill where you had to just basically back off.
That's right. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 19, verse 14. Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark, which they of old time have set in thine inheritance.
Right. You shall not remove thy neighbor's landmark, which in old time they have set. You remove your neighbor's landmark. As soon as you, matter of fact, the History Channel around Thanksgiving time, when they showed how the Pilgrims first came over here and landed in Plymouth Rock, when they landed there on the beach, these motherfuckers immediately started stealing as soon as they got off them goddamn boats in Plymouth Rock, because the Gadites that was up there in Massachusetts,
what they call Massachusetts today,
they were during the winter season. They would take their corn and different seeds, and they would bury it, and they would go more inland towards the winter time, and then towards the spring they would come out more towards more towards the water, towards the beach area, toward the coast. They would go inland during the winter time, and then they would come and they would come back to the coast when the springtime came, and then that's when they would replant the corn and different seeds and stuff like that. So when them them bastards came off the boats, they dug up the corn and the different stuff that Gad had planted for when they would come back to the coast and stole it.
That's whitey for you.
That's the fucking white man.
But I tell you, you niggas love to steal. The biggest thief, matter of fact, was that the thief cometh not but for to steal?
Yeah, John 10:10.
Get that for me real quick.
The
biggest thief and crook on the planet Earth is the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. All right,
the devil,
and at the top of him is Amalek, the big nose people, the people that look like their nose can vacuum your carpet.
Yeah.
All right.
The big nose people.
They're the biggest crooks, the biggest liars, the biggest slanderers on the planet Earth. The deceiver.
The biggest deceivers.
Why you think everybody want them for their lawyer? Because they know they're shiesty and crooked, and you won't get away with murder.
Because
you could have murdered 10 motherfuckers, but you get one of them big nose people to represent you in the court. He'll get you off, man. If you pay him the right shekels.
Yeah.
You pay him the right amount of shekels. He'll get you off, man.
Yeah, he'll get you off.
Because why? He's a liar and a crook.
Yeah, he's a swindler.
And a swindler. Swindlers. They had a movie called Swindler's List.
Yeah.
John chapter 10, verse 10.
Come on.
The thief cometh not but to steal.
When Whitey came on them boats over here, they were coming with one thing on their minds. Read that again.
John 10 and 10. The thief cometh not but for to steal.
But his mind was, oh wow, look at all this land. We're gonna before, because you know, Columbus and them dickheads came over, and then everything spread like wildfire throughout Europe. So every crackler in Europe, like, yo, I'm gonna get me some, man. You know, and they were only fucking with the East Coast at that time.
Yeah.
Then the Spaniards, they went inland, they went over to the West Coast. They found the West Coast by way of going through Central America and up. Because if you go to Central America, the landmass is more narrow.
Yeah.
So it's easier for you to get to either coast.
They cross over to the Pacific.
Right. That's why they built that Panama Canal, to cut time to get around to the West Coast rather than going all the way down to the Horn of South America. You know, to cut time, because that landmass is very narrow. It's like, what, 50 miles or something like that? I mean, I could be corrected. But it's like real, that strip is real narrow. So them Spaniards took what today to Mexico, South America.
Mm-hmm.
The Spaniards and the Portuguese got, and the French.
Mm-hmm.
They plopped down South America, Central America. Then the Spaniards went out to the West Coast. That's why you have towns in California like San Jose, San Francisco, all right, San Diego, Los Angeles,
right. All Spanish names.
Spanish devils took that zone, while the British had the East Coast, right, and the French went to the Middle Lands. That's why you go to the Midwest,
Louisiana.
You got a lot of Louisiana, and as you go north towards Chicago, all right,
New Orleans,
all
Louisiana,
up and down the Mississippi River, man. Mm-hmm. So this devil, man, he came here to steal, to take.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And to kill.
How many Native Americans? They'll give you, they'll say 77 million.
That's what they admit to.
You can't even, that's what they admit to. You can't really put a number to it because it's infinite.
Yeah. Like, who the fuck actually went around and counted every dead Indian
or dead Negro for that?
Or dead Negro. Who the fuck went around and went 1, 2, 3 and they documented it? Who the fuck actually did
First of all, they looked at us as a no people. So when they killed us, they're killing a fucking dog.
Yeah.
If you kill a dog, you gonna remember how many dogs you killed.
Right.
Or if you kill a cockroach. Okay, today I killed 10 cockroaches.
Nah, you're not gonna fucking keep a log of that.
Yeah. That's how they look at our people, man.
Mm-hmm.
And they still look at you that way. Go ahead, bro. Read from the top again, man.
John 10 and 10. The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy.
To steal and to kill, and to destroy. Now, on that note, destroy. You can hold it right there, because now I want to run off some of this information right here.
Sir.
Now, right, this live stream. What did I name it? The history that America has buried. Right now, this article here is Sunken Black History. Recreational spots across the U.S. hide some dark, murky secrets.
Dark and murky.
Right. So, the Tulsa Race Massacre of 1921 has received much attention recently, but it is far from the only ugly racist tragedy in U.S. history. In addition to many other black communities that were destroyed by white supremacists, quite a few once thriving towns are now underwater. Lake Lanier, named after Confederate soldier Sidney Lanier in Forsyth County, Georgia, is a popular recreational spot 42 miles north of Atlanta. Beneath is what used to be a town called Oscarville, a thriving, predominantly black community until 1912. So Oscarville was thriving until 1912. Now, in 1912, the Bruce family had bought Manhattan Beach in 1912, and in 1924, the state of California took that land from the Bruce family, that beachfront property. Well,
so these are years.
This is happening around the same time.
Yeah, these are years after the Civil War.
After the Civil War.
After the Civil War, Jake was getting land all in the late 1870s,
That's right.
1880s, 1890s.
That's right.
Then you had Jakes that were going out west.
Yep.
Bill Cosby got a movie called Man and Boy that goes into that history. I should watch that. That's a good fucking movie. That's one of the best movies Bill Cosby did, man. I could watch that movie over and over again. But it goes into how Jake went out west to stake land. That's when they were going out west, got their land, and Esau still gave them hell out west. They thinking that going out west, all right, I ain't going to the north because it's full of them devils. I ain't going to the south. It's full of let me go out west because it's just Gad out there,
Yeah. There was another movie too. I just came out with Idris Elba with the Cowboys.
Okay, it's a cowboy movie. Yeah, showing you that Jake was out there. Right.
Based on true events.
But yeah, Jake going out there plotting land and Esau coming over there and taking it away from them. They might get land that Esau deemed as unfit land, or that land you can't grow nothing there. But then Jake, through the spirit, get the land going. Mm-hmm. Then what they do? What does the thief do? Come there to kill, to steal, and to destroy.
This is around the same time as the Bloody Summer too, right? A few years prior to that.
Bloody Summer was 1919. That was after World War I. So that's during that period. Yeah, so a lot of shit was going on. That's right. A lot of shit was going on, man. So stop it, Taj. You can go back into that, what you was reading.
So here, now what it was saying back, Oscarville, it was thriving, predominantly black community until 1912. And then basically 2 black boys was accused of basically raping a white girl. That's always the excuse that they use. That's their go-to move.
I'm gonna say this, man.
That's the go-to move.
I'm gonna come straight. Negroes ain't looking at the white woman is the worst looking woman on the planet Earth, man. I'm gonna say this: you got better looking Chinese broads than a damn white woman. You got better looking Polynesian broads than the white woman. Every woman on the planet Earth that got melanin in their skin look better than a pasty pale cracker bitch. But the white man just knows that everybody in the world that want her. Yeah. But now people will get the so-called white woman because like a status thing. Because right now Esau's in power.
Yeah,
that's just about it. She ain't no good looking. Niggas, what I wanted all my life was a white girl. It don't work that way, homie. Go ahead.
So that's basically what caused that to happen.
But now the black woman will do that. All I want is a white man. The black woman does. Yeah. See, the black woman does that. All right,
all day.
Negroes, we want our thing is every woman is ours, man.
Yeah, fun.
Oh, I just want a white woman. Nah, all right. The nigga woman and the Latino woman, they do that. They want a blue-eyed white guy.
Yeah, that's true.
No matter how old he is. That's why that one black girl and that news thing went national. Right here in the town where we at. She went and met some old ass cracker on Bumblebee, whatever the fuck site that's called. And he came there and stung her. Yeah. And he got away with it. The cop says he's a nice guy. That's why we didn't lock him up. That's what you get. We didn't feel bad for that black chick. Then they put pictures of her with like she modeling and shit. Bitch looked like a damn horse with makeup. She like Mr. Ed with makeup on. Go ahead, bro. I don't want too much off the rails. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Now I'm gonna talk about another place called what's the name? This place is called it's called Vanport. It's called Vanport, Oregon. Now Vanport, Oregon. This was a place that was where a lot of Jakes had came to, and it became a bustling town. Now, this place was flooded, and there was Jakes that was inhabiting this place. Now, this is what you call the Pacific Northwest, because a lot of you think, oh, see, it's only the South. The whole motherfucking country, man.
The whole continent.
This whole fucking continent, all right?
North, Central, South America, and the islands.
Now, I'm going to read, this is called, it says, I'm going to just read this little bit on this article. It says, the time nature and racism teamed up to wipe out a whole town. People stand marooned on housetops in the community of Vanport, Oregon, on May 30th, 1948, while water swirls through debris of their own town.
That sounds like Katrina.
That sounds like Katrina.
That happened. Katrina wasn't new. That happened already with you Negroes.
So now let me read this. It says, in the 1940s, Vanport, Oregon was the center of a booming World War II era shipyard industry, quickly becoming the second largest city in the state. But both its origin and its destruction came about thanks to the racially discriminatory housing practices of neighboring Portland across the river.
Hey, read that from the top again.
In the 1940s, Vanport, Oregon was the center of a booming World War II era shipyard industry.
So wait, so who owned them shipyards? Was it Jake? Because niggas want to talk about some generational wealth.
Well, I believe there was Edomites there.
Okay.
And what happened is World War II, the Edomite men got pulled into the war, so then they needed workers. So a lot of Jakes migrated there to the town.
Okay.
And were working there and kept the shipyard industry going, basically.
Cut.
So a lot of Jakes went up in there and got, but of course they was being discriminated against. And it was all pushed into one area. I'm gonna read on. It's gonna explain. In the 1940s, Vanport, Oregon was the center of a booming World War II era shipyard industry, quickly becoming the second largest city in the state. But both its origin and its destruction came about thanks to the racially discriminatory housing practices of neighboring Portland across the river. As the Smithsonian's Natasha Gilling reports, Oregon's history of racism, it was illegal for blacks to move there until 1926, created a pristine utopia where land was plentiful and diversity was scarce. But as World War II saw white males drafted to serve overseas, a labor shortage pulled in a great migration of blacks from the South. It says,
long trick.
all these new workers needed places to live, which became inconvenient for city officials. At the time, the Albina neighborhood was the only place blacks were legally allowed to live, and it quickly became too small to fit the growing population of African Americans. With Portland's black population undergoing a rapid expansion because Jake was multiplying, city officials could no longer ignore the question of housing. There simply wasn't enough space in the red line neighborhoods for the incoming black worker, and moreover, providing housing for defense workers was seen as a patriotic duty. But even with the overwhelming influx of workers, Portland's discriminatory housing policies reigned supreme. Fearing that a permanent housing development would encourage black workers to remain in Oregon after the war, the Housing Authority of Portland was slow to act. So their thing was they didn't want more Jake to keep moving and expanding. Now, when it said that they had redlined certain areas, when they redline something, that means you can't go beyond this neighborhood line and live and buy property or even just live or rent. You had to stay within a certain section. They called it redlining. Like if you notice here in Bridgeport, you see North Avenue.
Right.
To this side of North Avenue, which would be the south, going towards the south end, that's all the blacks and Hispanics. When you go to that northern, or what's that? That would be going more north on that side. That's more where the white people are. Italians, Portuguese, so on and so forth, Polish, they're all up on that side. If you're coming up North Avenue, if you're coming up North Avenue, like you're going towards like you're coming towards what the People's Bank and the McDonald's, whatever, you coming towards that way because you're trying to go to you're trying to go to the place where I'm trying to think of it. You're trying to go to where you get to go past Main Street to go to Boston Avenue. If you're taking North Ave to Boston Avenue, so to the right side is the niggas and the spics, but to the left is where you got all the so-called white people in that part. That's like redlining.
Yeah, they have a term for it. I live on the other side of the tracks.
Right. So the housing authority, and they was like, they didn't want Jake to, because they wanted after the war, they wanted them niggas to get pushed the hell up out of there. The only reason they was in there was because there was a manpower shortage because the crackers had to go off to fight World War II. But they had to still keep the industry going. So the Jakes migrated up from the South because there was a lot of work there. They had no workers. They needed work, right? So it says Vanport was built as a temporary housing solution to Portland's rapidly growing population. At its peak, it housed nearly 40,000 residents. Close to 40% were African American. But an unusually wet spring in 1948 created a hole in the railroad dike blocking the Columbia River, and it erupted into massive flooding. City officials didn't warn residents of the dangerously high water levels and opted not to evacuate. So when the water sprung up, they didn't even tell them that, look, that is being flooded and to evacuate. So they let Jake sit there and die. So it says city officials didn't warn the residents of the dangerously high water levels and opted not to evacuate. The town was wiped out within a day, and 18,500 families were displaced.
How many families?
18,500 families.
That's a lot of families.
Were displaced, more than a third African American. The Smithsonian reports that the Vanport's collapse recreated the same overcrowding problem the town was supposed to fix.
Okay.
So that's just boom. So that's Vanport, Rhode Island.
So basically, they got rid of Negroes and white trash. In other words,
pretty much.
Because they said a third of them were Negroes. You know, yeah, and a lot of them white trash might have been Jakes. You know, because the curses came on their asses too. You know, whatever. It could be any of them countries because we were scattered.
Yep. Yeah. Now I got another one called This one is in Alabama. This one would be called give me a second. I just want to look up the name.
Yeah,
real
while
quick.
you're getting that,
Coalegia, Alabama, right? Drowned towns. What traces of ghost cities lies beneath Alabama's man-made lakes? So the man-made lakes in Alabama were once towns full of black people that they purposely drowned. They purposely flooded those towns to remove them Jakes up out of there. It says on quiet evenings, boaters sometimes hear the ghostly chimes of church bells rising from the depths of Lake Martin. At other times, the eerie baying of coonhounds echoes across the waters, said to be the spirit of hunting dogs whose graves were never moved before the dam was built and the farmlands flooded. At least that's what the legends say. The reality of the dozens of small communities submerged beneath Alabama's man-made lakes is slightly different. Where some homes, roads, buildings, and even graves submerged when Alabama Power Company and Tennessee Valley Authority flooded thousands of acres to create power and recreational sources, yes, but not much remains. A TVA official says, and for one very good reason, safety, ensuring the waters are navigatable and free of hazards, was foremost in the minds of those who built dams and created states, many lakes. Some communities are now lost completely, just notations in history books. Others survived at least in part as tiny lakeside towns. A few examples are Eastonville, Alabama, was submerged when Logan Martin Lake was created in 1964. The St. Clair County town was near Pell City and Cropwell. Another place called Benson, I believe Benson, Alabama, was a community of mostly black residents founded in 1895 by Will Benson. It was flooded in 1926 when Martin Dam was completed on the Tallapoosa River to form Lake Martin. Susanna, Alabama, or Susanna, was also flooded by Lake Martin. According to a story in the Montgomery Advisor, more than 900 bodies were removed from cemeteries before the land was submerged. The town once included a gold mine, a school, 2 mercantiles, a grist mill, a flour mill, a sawmill, a blacksmith shop, and a church.
Wait a minute, that's business, that's industry.
Waterloo, Alabama. All of these places were submerged by the lake. Like when they set the dam up and they let the water go,
so Jake,
all them towns, these towns were flooded in Alabama.
Jake was setting up their own metropolises, and the Lord had it shut down.
So Jake was already on the thing of the black dollar, keeping the black dollar flowing in the black neighborhood.
You got to put yourselves back there.
Right.
They couldn't do business with Whitey. Whitey wasn't having. They had to come with their own shit, and they did. And Whitey, so that shows you if Jake was to do that shit now, let's say Jake as a whole got down in diggity Esau come out there with machine guns and shoot all y'all motherfuckers.
Yeah, because you know what?
That's them curses.
You're taking away. If you black people right now in America started keeping your money circulated amongst yourself, all of these fucking industries out here will fucking fall. Okay,
and they ain't gonna have that. So
transportation industry is gonna go down. Hell.
Well, wait a minute. Jake spend more than everybody else.
Right.
They buy most of the high end shit.
Right.
You know. So they don't want to lose their biggest consumer.
Hell no.
So they're gonna fuck you.
Shit. One of the reasons of the civil rights movement
to shut down black businesses.
Esau stopped. They basically how would you say segregated, because Jake stopped using their buses. Jakes were walking, and then other people who had cars were piling people in and giving people rides to work and all that instead of them paying to get the bus. Esau was losing money in them different towns in the state. Were losing money, major money. They didn't want that. Jake started their own the Negro Leagues. Jake had their own baseball teams.
Well, yeah, because that's all they could have done.
That's all they could have done.
Everything was separate.
You had black owners in the Negro League.
Everything was separate. So Jake had to come with their own things, you know?
Yep.
That civil rights movement, like, I don't want to sound like Jesse Lee Peterson, but but it's true. That civil rights movement shit destroyed all of that.
It damn sure did.
Because think about it, after the civil rights, there was no more all black schools. So that's a business that went under.
Right.
Everybody had to go to whitey schools now.
Right. You got these historic black colleges, these SBCUs that are struggling because why? All of the top black athletes is going to the white schools.
Now they can go to other schools now.
Because they could go to other schools now. So they're going to these white schools getting scholarships and then going to the NBA or the NFL there.
But that goes, you're talking about the college level, but that goes down to the high school and the elementary school level.
Mm-hmm.
They shut all of them schools down. Now you could go to Woolworths and eat a snack. So a lot of them black businesses y'all was going to before, they out of business now.
Right, they out of business.
Y'all want to go sit down with Whitey.
Yep.
You know? But it all goes back to what? The curses that we read.
That's right. It's all the curses.
Yeah, you know, and it also goes into you're groping at noonday. You know? Go ahead, brother.
This is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest.
Read it again for these guys looking for generational wealth.
Micah 2 and 10.
And then they're looking for it at a time when America's about to be destroyed.
Yep.
Here it is. Hey, I always compare America to one of those on Empire Strikes Back. Mm-hmm. The quadro, those those ships with the legs, the 4 legs.
Oh, yeah.
America right now, 2 legs are down.
Yep.
It's standing on 2 legs right now. Y'all niggas looking to do something. Y'all looking to build a new town.
Yeah.
All right, Esau ain't gonna get to flood it because the missile's gonna burn it.
Yep.
Read that again, bro.
Micah 2 and 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest.
Arise ye and depart. Ooh, somebody's up here doing it.
Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you.
Let me get it. Yeah.
Even with a sword destruction. Yeah, man. And when y'all was running around building communities and things like that, ain't nothing new under the sun. We know that, hey, that's not of the Most High, man. He's not with that. So what's happening? It's all going to come to naught, man. The same thing is going to happen today. It's going to come to naught, man. And like the elder said, y'all doing that. It's a little too late, man.
Too late, man. Too late. All right. So I got something here. You know, hey, it's beautiful. We bringing out all this history, man, because they're telling you about nowadays. So-called black history is about the woman.
Oh yeah.
All you see is woman shit. And women, the black woman ain't do nothing but run her damn big stinking mouth, man. She ain't do nothing properly.
Sat down
and open up her legs to every Tom, Dick, and Harriet, and whoever else want to go.
That's it.
The scripture says she opened her quiver.
She opened her quiver to every arrow. See, that's black history for you. She opened her quiver to every arrow.
That's black history.
What that one black chick that he worshiping, the singer, and she went out to France back in the 19th.
Josephine Baker?
Yeah. What was she doing?
A hoeing. She was a fucking
She was opening up her quiver to Whitey.
Yep.
And you love her so much. But Negro get a white woman, now he the worst thing in the world. Yeah, Uncle Tom.
Yeah,
he ain't for the people.
Yep, that's true.
But wait a minute, Maya Angelou, she never had all her husbands were white guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And you right.
First of all,
she
looked like a motherfucking
Malama.
ugly ass black man.
She like Malama.
And she sound like one too.
When Esau got
fucking
a fetish
deep-ass
for,
voice, yeah.
They're mammies, they call them.
Yeah.
They got fetishes for.
But she'll sit down there and tell you about yourself. Look, young man. Look, young man. You don't know.
Like that too.
Yeah. But yet she fucking white guys. And nobody says nothing about her. You know?
Yep. Fun.
The hypocrisy, man.
The hypocrisy.
But anyway, this is Psalms 50. And I'll start at 16. But unto the wicked the Most High saith. Who's the wicked? The so-called white man. What hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Because during that period right here, the brothers read all the way till now. Well, that's so much now, but really back in them days, man. Esau going around saying he a Christian. Going around saying that he's the Jews, he's the chosen people. Right? The so-called white man. So the Lord is asking them, what you got to do with this? I didn't choose you. This is not for you.
Right.
But you're taking it upon yourself, though.
Right.
And posing to the world that you're the righteous people.
Exactly.
You know? Fool, like my man said, that Jamaican dude said, fooling the masses.
How dare you say the Holocaust wasn't about race?
Yeah. Yeah, but see, they got that black Guinea off the show, Whoopi Goldberg. Or in Spanish, they call her Guinepa. She look like a black, burnt out Guinepa. All right? And they got her off that show. And that's good for her, man. All that shit she be talking.
Jumping Jack Flash.
Yeah, jumping Jack Flash, jump that ass off the show.
Yep.
All them stupid movies she did back. And them movies are stupid.
Lousy ass
She
movies, man.
sucks.
But she was sucking off Esau. Shit.
Yeah. Then they gave her an award for Ghost. Her part on this sucks. She's just a mammy on this.
That's it.
Come today, I help you. I'm the black woman.
I'm the Obia woman.
Yeah, I'm the Obia woman.
Yep.
You know?
Was she fucking with homeboy from Cheers?
Yeah, she was that dude. Oh, man.
dancing.
Yeah, he got caught with blackface.
Bring it on up, bro.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
she was with him too when he
Yeah,
did his thing.
no, she spoke up for him.
Yeah.
He didn't mean nothing by that. He didn't mean nothing by wearing blackface on him. So y'all got short memories, man.
Yeah.
Fuck Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
And I pray them kikes go to her house tonight and just off her.
They
man.
ready to fuck her up. I watching the
I
movie.
pray they go there and just off her, man. That goblin. It's like a fucking goblin. She's sitting there talking shit. Yeah, festival. I'm gonna punch you in your fucking face, man. Sister Act.
Yeah, Sister Act.
Miss Sister Act over there. Yeah.
So we reading about these towns that was full of black people in Alabama. Now there's still more, right? There's a place called Waterloo, Alabama, a tiny patch of Lauderdale County that takes up less than 1 square mile is still home to about 200 people for more than 100 years. From its beginnings in 1819, Waterloo was a small but bustling town on the banks of the Tennessee River. But many of its homes and buildings were moved in the late 1930s to avoid being submerged when Pickwick Landing Dam was built by Tennessee Valley Authority. Another place called Riverton, Alabama, was a small Colbert County town flooded when Pickwick Dam was built on the Tennessee River in 1938. The town was a strategic point on the Tennessee River, leading to several bombardments during the Civil War. The old Riverton Cemetery, where some residents of the town were buried, remains above the floodplains. Irma, Alabama, was a tiny Elmore County community now located beneath Lake Martin. According to a blog for scuba divers, a church was submerged in a very deep part of the lake and is marked on maps. Like you were saying, churches and stuff is under the water. You still see the steeples and all that.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Hold on, one more.
All right.
Bainbridge, Alabama, was a Colbert County community submerged when Wilson Dam was built in 1924 to create Wilson Lake. On the Tennessee River, it was built by Hugh L. Cooper, but after the formation of TVA, it was placed under its operations. So, damn, and there's
This goes
more.
on and on. Y'all brothers could read that, man.
Yeah, that's just Alabama to create that Lake Martin and other lakes in Alabama. These were black towns that were flooded to create these lakes.
Yes.
So Jake was on that thing of having their own businesses, having black money circulate amongst themselves. And what happened? The so-called white man destroyed it because he's the fucking devil. On top of that, the curses. The scriptures say, "Cursed shall thou be in the city, cursed shall thou be in the field."
That's right.
Yep.
Period. Because we're under the curses.
That's right.
Yep. This is Isaiah 26:21. says, "For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain."
Right. In other words, all this shit was hidden, and everything's coming out. And right here, we're at the end now, man. And there's more stuff to come out, boy.
Yeah,
it's coming out.
Oh,
it is coming out, man.
Hey, as a matter of fact, right? He read that the earth shall discover her slain.
Yeah.
You know, there was a place here in Connecticut called Jerusalem, Connecticut.
Yeah. And Jake was living there.
And they flooded it.
Yeah.
Now, matter of fact, let me see. Is there really a town called Jerusalem and a graveyard under the Candlewood Lake?
I know about that one. That's actually the drinking water here in the town we living in over here.
Yeah,
comes from that fucking lake.
So
y'all, so really, that's why that water is so disgusting.
Yeah,
right here, that water coming right from Candlewood. You know Candlewood Lake. When you go up Black Rock Turnpike, past the Parkway and go up, that big lake. No, Danbury, Slockia.
Danbury.
That's a Danbury.
You talking about when you told me like Route 58 and the lake that's right there? That
was flooded also.
Okay.
But the one that you read in Candlewood,
right?
That's up there by Danbury Brookfield.
Yeah, Route 7.
Yeah,
Route 7. Yeah, Route 7, like New Milford, all that.
Matter of fact, the brother Shakya back in the days when he was with us in this camp rather, because he got his own camp now. He used to take brothers up there to go fishing. The lake you're reading right there.
It says construction of the dam in August 1927 at the north end of what was to become the Candlewood Lake. In the foreground is the pipe used to pump water from the Housatonic River into the lake from the Rocky River power generating station along Route 7 in New Milford.
New Milford, yep.
Because
it extends from Danbury to New Milford. It's a big. I drove out there, man. You drive out there, you think you're in a different zone, man. It's a nice lake.
Yeah,
but there's a town under there. That was a Jake town, huh?
Yeah, I believe so. It was called Jerusalem, Connecticut.
It's up in the hills.
Yeah. It says, let me see. Spending time on the Candlewood Lake as a kid, I heard the rumors supposedly beneath the lake's pristine surface, deep within its murky depths, were the remains of an old town called Jerusalem. The town had been flooded in the 1920s when the lake was made to help Connecticut Light and Power generate electricity, you know, hydroelectricity.
Right. Back in the day,
In addition to buildings and homes, the story goes the town's graveyard had been swallowed by the waters. It didn't take much imagination to envision the bodies in the graveyard swollen with seeping water, waiting for me as I dove in. It turns out, however, that the tale of the flooded Jerusalem is only half true. Candlewood Lake, the state's largest lake, was indeed created in the 1920s by Connecticut Light and Power as a reservoir to produce electricity. It was formed behind a hydroelectric dam near where the Rocky and Housatonic rivers meet in New Milford. A 200-foot drop in the Rocky River nearby had long been used to power mills in 1904, such and such, boom, boom. So that's pretty much, you know. So
but anyway, back in the scriptures, it says here, because Esau, you're gonna pay.
That's right.
That's why the Lord. I read that again. That's why I said. That's why I said. For behold, the Lord cometh out of His place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity.
So Lord, and we're living in that time now where the Lord's gonna come out of His. Where's the Lord's place? The fourth dimension, the spiritual realm. He's gonna send His Son Yahweh Shai and the innumerable amount of angels back here. By the way, today in Mexico, they saw a big chariot, man. It was on the news today. Like a big, long chariot. Like, what's that? Matter of fact, I didn't get to see the damn article, but they showed the caption before they go to commercial.
Okay.
So in Mexico, what is that light in the sky? It's like a big chariot, man. That was in today's news. So y'all brothers can look that up, man.
Hey, Shalom, my bud. I see you on the comments.
So we live in Shalom, brother. So we're living in that time now where the Lord's getting ready to what?
Yep. It said, for behold, the Lord coming out of His place to punish the inhabitants of the earth.
Right. He's coming to punish, meaning bring destruction.
For their iniquity.
So the so-called white man, all your shit you've done. See, we could read your dirt for days, man, for weeks.
Yep.
We could read your dirt we could say for a whole year just reading your dirt, man.
Yep.
So we're living in a time now where you're going to pay for all of that.
Yeah.
That scripture, Nahum 1:3 said the Lord is slow to anger.
Get that one.
Yep.
1:3 Nahum.
Yep. Talking about dirt, you're the real dirt devil, you fucking devil.
Yeah, and then the thing is, you think you can sweep all this shit under the rug. See, when you sweep shit under the rug, it's still there.
Yeah.
It still has to be clean, man.
Yeah.
You can just sweep shit on the rug and just stay, nah.
Hey, because what you got? Your brothers earlier talking about Emmett Till and all that, the Devil's Punch Bowl.
Yeah.
Those are the things that we know. Through the spirit, we always said Rosewood, those were just stuff that came to the light.
Right.
Because you had a couple of jakes in Hollywood that made that the kite said it was all right for them to.
They gave the green light.
Yep.
Give them the green light, yeah.
But there's numerous. Remember, y'all said it earlier. So they're killing Jake like you kill a, not even a dog, like
A
ants,
roach.
like
Right.
ants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You step on it, you don't think twice of it. But the Lord said He required that which has passed.
That's right.
That's why you got all these chariot sightings. And Hollywood put those movies up like Avengers, where
Yeah.
they showed Thanos or Loki coming out with those different dimensions.
Yeah.
They got those ideals. One, they stole it from the Bible, but the Lord plagues them with those dreams and visions.
That's right. That's right.
It's Nahum chapter 1, verse 3. It says, the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, is slow to anger.
Right. So all these hundreds of years to the point where that's why a lot of these niggas, because the Lord got them blinded, they're becoming what, atheists, and they say they don't believe in no God because they don't see no way out of this. They like, damn, man, we just fucked.
Yeah.
I mean, we go back history. All we do is read the history of us getting fucked.
Yeah.
And when I open up my door today, I'm still getting fucked. So what you know?
Mhm.
And you brought out a heavy point. That's why you see a lot of jakes on drugs committing suicide
Yeah.
and just losing it, because the scriptures say that the just is saved by what? Hope.
Hope.
Yeah.
And
Remember, Jake don't have no hope. You look at them, they're hopeless.
yeah. And that's that curse we read early in Deuteronomy. They grope at noonday.
Yep.
You supposed to grope when it's dark. When it's dark, you can't see where you're going. It's dark. But y'all groping when there's light.
Mhm.
Yeah. Look what you feed your soul. Hip hop, drugs, adultery, thievery, murders, like New York. And pretty soon the Lord gonna have it where martial law is kicked in, because that's prophesied. Jeremiah said, let a troop come upon them suddenly.
That's right. Oh,
Yeah. And Jeremiah 18:22.
Yep.
That's gonna come. All these niggas on these broad daylight shootings and everything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Eventually the troops are gonna come in.
That's right. New York, Chicago been on it for the
Chicago.
longest, but now New York is on it, and other towns. Philadelphia,
Philly.
Lord have
Yep.
mercy.
I just
All right.
watched it.
Baltimore, you ain't got to mention Baltimore. That place looks like a damn missile done hit it already.
Philly, they-
DC, they had a carjacking.
yeah. Oh, there's
Yeah.
hands on too. The
Yeah.
carjack.
Hell yeah.
DC. So we're living in a time where the enemies will come in as a flood. And you know what? We've been putting curses on 2/3 of you monkeys and you spicks and all that. We put curses on you for the longest. And the Lord's going to speak on your ass, man.
Yeah, what was that? Was it Proverbs 28:5? Let me see if I
Go
can
ahead.
grab it real quick. It's Proverbs 28:5. It
Go ahead.
says,
Yeah.
evil men understand not judgment,
Go back to
but they that seek the Lord understand all things.
Read that again.
It says, Proverbs 28:5. It says, evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things.
Right. Evil men. You can start with Whitey, because Whitey, he's the wicked.
Right.
But then that's 2/3 of our own people.
Yep.
They don't know nothing about judgment. That's why they live in the way they live in, like animals. Look, we keep saying animals. Animals are in order, man.
Yeah.
Animals are in order, man.
Yep.
You monkeys are just a bunch of fucking goblins, man.
Oh, King David prophesied. He said, look, I was a beast before thee, Lord.
I was a beast before thee, right? Cut.
Yep. Without these laws, statutes, and commandments, and this light, you'd
Yeah.
be walking around in darkness.
You ever watch animals like cats? They might be chilling with each other, and all of a sudden they fight for no fucking reason. Or one cat might be sitting where this one want to sit, and he pushes him out the way. That's how you niggas act, man, and you spicks.
And another thing where it says evil men understand not judgment, the false leaders of Israel.
That's right.
Like the little monkey boy, Alazar, Nate,
That's right.
General Hemroy, all these cats. That's why they understand judgment, because you hear them all saying, we got to reach our people. We got to reach 2/3. When you understand the scriptures, the Lord said that this generation is going to pay for Abel to Zacharias, whom they slew on the altar. Yahweh Shai prophesied it himself. It said, "O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, which killeth the prophets." And they said, if that was us, we wouldn't have did it. He said, you are your forefathers.
Yeah,
He's breaking down reincarnation.
Yeah.
That's right.
So them niggas are right here back to this day.
Doing
They
the
got
same
paid
thing.
for that.
And they go, see, we live in a time of your judgment.
Good.
We're at the end of everything now, man.
What's that? 1 Peter 4:17. The Lord said judgment shall start at his house.
That's right. That's
You
right.
know?
That's right. Dudes that are acting like they doing the work of the Lord and they really not.
Yeah, what are in it for? Vainglory,
They
lucre.
They teach you how to shot for strife.
Strife, yep.
Strife, filthy lucre. The list goes on and on, man.
Good.
All right.
Yeah,
Go on.
back in Nahum 1 and 3, the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked.
So, Whitey, you're not going to be acquitted. See, right now, we're living in a time now where the so-called white man really thinks he's acquitted. That's why he's getting ready to come in. Their elites are getting ready to come in with that New World Order. Because they're like, all right, everything's good. Everything's clear. Let's come on with it now. We got the world where we want them. You know, because when this whole situation that we in right now for the past couple of years, y'all know what I'm talking about. That was a worldwide thing. And on the news, they showed you every country around the world, how they're reacting to it.
Yep.
Showing you that New World Order, man. They got this shit where they want it. So they believe that it's gonna be a success.
Yep.
You know?
Newick Conceptus, which they have on the dollar bill, which is our enterprise a success, which links up to Job the 5th chapter.
That's right.
Another thing too is this world is in their mind, they're gonna have a police state.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're talking about the atrocities that was done to our people. This is Esau's last curtain call, so to speak. He's gonna show his horns like you ain't never seen before. You ain't never seen before. Like right now, they're defunding the police.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving these mandates where officers are retiring because they don't want to take the jab. You got U.S. military soldiers getting discharged from the military because they won't take the jab. That's all planned. They knew that was going to be an uproar, and these people who believed in patriotism or freedom know that this is all what's the name?
Bullshit.
Fascism.
That's right.
You know, so now they know there's going to be what the scripture said, insurrection.
Okay.
So what you think that they have waiting for all these people? Jake gonna catch it the worst because they give 2 fucks about our people, but they're gonna kill their own people.
That's right. Like they always did that with white trash. The matter of fact, the brother read one of them drownings, one of them floodings of the city.
About a quarter of
It's only just over a quarter of them was Jake. The other ones was white trash.
Because
Right.
said
A lot
third
of-
was Jake.
Yeah.
A lot of y'all Appalachians and a lot of y'all are Jakes. A lot of y'all are Edomites. Because you watch some of them now, they going. That's an Edomite.
Yeah, cut.
Living in the mud. And all that. Jake don't like mud. But you got our people sprinkle among other peoples, man.
That's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But anyway, I got a scripture here. Going with I not just said. This is Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea.
And it says rejoice. Hey, the angels can't wait to get loose.
That's right.
That's why the scripture said Daniel's the 12th chapter that Michael the archangel shall stand up for his people.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what the angels used to tell all the prophets? I'm thy fellow servant, thy brother,
That's right.
who had the testimony of Yahweh Shai.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So they can't wait to get loose. But the Lord put them on hold. They gotta wait.
Yep.
It says, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
Right. This devil knows that his time is short, so he's going to come down with great wrath.
Yeah, like brother said, we're reading all this atrocities. There's going to be more. There's going to be this one's going to be the grand finale of atrocities.
Okay.
What's coming right now. And you know what? It's much deserved. See, right? We look at you average niggas, you average spicks, and you average tomahawks, like the Native Americans, because we don't talk about them much. They got their head way up Whitey's ass.
Yep.
Here it is. They were slaughtered to nothing, man, and made fun of.
You're right.
That's why they do all them cowboy movies. So
Mm-hmm.
if you ain't doing that one day, just watch Channel 7, one of them old cowboy movies. And they had white guys playing Gad.
Right. They got a bunch of crackers playing.
But yeah, up until the 70s is when they started putting real Gadites in there. Right? But back in the old fuck Roy Rogers. Them old what's the other asshole nigga?
Spaghetti Western?
No, not even that. I'm going back. Like fucking the Duke. Was it the dude that died with all that meat in his damn gut?
John Wayne.
The John Wayne movies.
Yeah, hey Pilgrim.
And he represents as a proud. His whole persona is so. That's why Whitey loved him so much. Look, we're gonna take care of this situation. What? We got Indians over there. We're gonna clear them out. And they did just that.
Hey Pilgrim.
You know, hey Pilgrim. Yeah. That's why the Lord took him out. They said when he died, they found like pounds and pounds of meat,
like 40-something pounds
of meat in his fucking intestines,
backed up in him.
Yeah, you know that proud.
Hey, so the Duke couldn't take a Duke.
Yeah,
so that's why he got
taken
out of
That's why he walked tight like that.
Yeah,
you know how he walked.
Yeah, walk because he shit up his ass. He had that walk, that constant.
Oh yeah, that supposed to be on him.
The rapping Duke, yeah. He couldn't take a shit.
Hey, brother, it was just stammering lips.
Yeah, stammering lips.
So hey, with that, brothers and me, we pray y'all was edified, man. We're gonna say shalom till the next one.
That's right.
All right, and stay strong, brothers.
All right, brothers.
Hey, shalom.
Shalom.
Hey, shalom, brothers. Y'all bless you, Mishra Barakatah. Shalom.
We used to when that nigga said on Twitter, he went, dog. He gonna push it up.
Yeah. He couldn't